All right, we are at top of the hour. And iPad 3 is joining. Definitely always have some stragglers. Here comes people. We're going to wait just another minute or two here just for the stragglers. Come on, those of you on Facebook Live, click that Zoom link. Don't be one of those Facebook Live people. Click the Zoom link, join us live, don't be shy. 15 people on Facebook Live right now. Just click the Zoom link. You're gonna wanna ask questions today, I promise you. Click on the Zoom. Yes, I'm calling you out on Facebook Live, people. All right. The final countdown. I should have played the final countdown.
Live and you learn.
That would have been accurate. All right, everybody. I definitely believe there will probably be some stragglers showing up in here, but hey, what the heck? We are going to get on with getting on because today we have an action-packed adventure waiting for you. And all of you who don't have video on, this is one of the things that I share with everybody that ever exists on a planet as an entrepreneur. The way you show up for somebody else is the way that people will show up for you. So that being said, if you want people to show up for you with their video on and pay attention, and you're a background lurker, but you don't want anybody else to be a background lurker, you're being a bit of a hypocrite. Not to call you out, it's not bad, but don't, call me next week and say, hey, nobody shows up to my sales calls when I do presentations. There's like 2 people there. The reason is because the way you're showing up for somebody else is the way somebody else will show up for you. So going down the list, Kevin, Perry, Luna, Nick, Tom, role model I never had, Tiago, William, Brent, Joey, Ryan, iPad 3. I love that name. I'm going to name my first son iPad 3, I believe. Rolando, Dan, Mark, Nick Goldberg, Danny Rodriguez, Wahida, Ricky S, videos. Turn your videos on, guys. Come on. If you're going to be here, be here. This is going to make you you're eating dinner, be on soon. All right. So what you're about to go through is literally in the last 11 months, not even 12 months yet, in the last 11 months on a brand new business of mine, a 10x return on ad spend and over $1 million. So you guys are in for a treat, but only if you actually pay attention, because what doesn't work is sitting in the background doing nothing. So I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. There's literally been a 10x return on ad spend with what you're about to go through today. And I'm super, super excited. I plan on making this an epic 90 minutes for you. And I know your return on time today is going to be enormous. And after today, your return on ad spend is going to be enormous. The returns are going to be crazy. So I'm excited to bring you guys a special treat. Today, our special guest has been marketing online for over 10 years. That's longer than I've been marketing online. That's for damn sure. He's managed multiple 8 figures in ad spend and generated over 9 figures in sales. 9 figures. Anybody had on here has generated 9 figures in sales? I like that L Sriram is upside down. That is actually really cool. That's awesome. He's owned multiple 7-figure businesses, including his ad agency, and he's worked with over 1,000 clients in media buying. He's a co-founder of the GSD Accelerator program, and GSD stands for Get Shit Done. So please, right now, everybody, turn on your video, get your notepads ready, and let's all welcome our special guest with a round. We like to do rounds of snaps here for our mystery man and my good friend, Cody Get Shit Done Getchell. That's what's
Am I allowed to snap for myself?
The floor is yours, baby.
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing today? Huh? How we doing, guys? I see all of what, 8 of you, 10 of you, I think, have come off, video. I know John likes to yell at people about this shit, so I'm gonna do it too, guys. We call our program Get Shit Done because that's what we like to do. And part of that means taking action, whether that be imperfect action, whether that be baby steps towards our goals, whether that be whatever the hell it is you got to do today to get something out of this. And part of that really is to show the hell up, right? So if you are eating and you don't want us to see your disgusting eating face, if you are crying and you don't want us to see your disgusting crying face, that's okay. I don't judge you. Please come on video and let me see it, because that way I can see that you're engaged. We're going to be saying things like, hey, drop a 1 in the chat, and you're going to smash that button until it's broken. We're going to be saying things like, give me thumbs up. And you see where this might break. If I can't see you giving me thumbs up, then I just assume you're not here, you're not doing anything, and we're not getting shit done. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs up. I'm looking at all of you. Yep. And anybody who refuses can simply say 1 in the chat. I have a person here. His name is Jacob. You guys might know him from the program. He is working with me today. He's going to be commenting. He's going to be helping you guys out. He might even answer a few questions and shoot me a couple of them so that I can get to them as we go. Like I said, this is going to be as interactive as I can possibly make it. That's what I want to do. And I want to make sure that if you have questions, they get answered throughout. Okay. So today specifically, we are going to be covering the ads process that we've done for people like John, that we've done for people like Cat Howell, Tribe of Buyers, and on and on and on the list goes over the last 10 years to absolutely crush it. But before we get started, I want to get a feel for who all is here and what everybody does. So can somebody please drop in the chat what it is you guys run as a business? What kind of entrepreneur are you, so that I can get a feel of how to tailor a few of these things specifically to help as many people as I possibly can. So let's start this interactivity. Let's start answering some stuff. We got real estate. Love it. Been working with real estates for a long time. Marketing agency. What else we got? Come on, guys. That's two out of 38 so far. Life coach, anxiety specialist, SW. Luna, what does SW stand for? Financial services, fractional CFO, financial advisor, personal live online trainer, life coach, software. Love it. Cool. Coaches. We coach coaches. I love people who coach coaches. Those are my favorite type of coaches. Awesome, guys. Cool. Perfect. All right, guys. So we're going to dive in. All right. We're going to get started a little bit here. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to talk today about 2 things. Somebody give me a 1 in the chat if you can see the screen that I wanted to share, because I do run with multiple screens. That would be the slideshow and can still see my face and everybody else. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, we got ones. By the end of this presentation, I promise you that you are going to be not able to use that 1 button ever again. So I hope it's not an important part of your life. It's going to be broken. It's going to be smashed. It's not going to function any longer. Today, we're going to be talking about the scary offer and the SOAP ads process. Specifically, no matter what type of business you run here, guys, and I can see there's a huge variety of that, and I absolutely love it. It's going to teach you how to stand out from your competition, and it's going to teach you how to attract high ticket clients in your industry on demand. And a lot of this revolves around understanding how to get your head up out of that red ocean. And a lot of us like to kid ourselves. We're trying to find that niche within the niche inside of our industries. We're trying to say, hey, I could find that little puddle of blue over there somewhere. I think that still might exist. It's a lie that we tell ourselves. All right. In the world that we live in, pretty much every one of us is in a red ocean. There's competition out there. There's people who think they do it better, people who think they'll do it cheaper, people who think they'll do it harder than you. And we need to know, how can we create an offer, create a sentence, a simplified thing that can allow us to stand out from those people and start conversations. Because at the end of the day, what really makes a business is this formula right here. Now, I'm not going to have enough time today to go over this full thing, but these are the main pieces of the puzzle to anything that you want to be successful at: traffic, sales, and systems. Now, a lot of times people will get ahead of themselves. All right. They're going to jump way ahead up here. They're going to say, oh man, I need to make some automation. I need to make the prettiest funnel. Or they're over here trying to sharpen those sales skills, right? Who in here is so worried about their sales skills? Drop me a 1 if you've been all the time thinking, oh man, I need to be better salesman. I need better salesman. But then you look at your calendar that week and you've got maybe like 2-3 sales calls in there. And it's okay to admit this kind of stuff, guys. Drop me a 1 in the chat if that sounds like you. And that's why, a lot of people fail. They're getting ahead of themselves, right? Because if we don't have actual people, and I'm going to ask you guys to hit the mute button. I'm going to mute a couple of you right now just as you come in. I will allow you guys to come off mute later on. We can talk to one another, but for right now, let's keep the mute button on. But before we can worry about sales, right? What do we need to worry about? Traffic, right? We could be the best salesperson in the world. If I got one guy to talk to every single week, right, I can close 50% of them. If only 50% of those guys show up and I can close 50% of them because I'm a sales guy, I'm still not going to make any money. I'm still not going to have a growable business. And so that's how we flow all the way back to what we're going to be specifically talking about today, which is traffic. All right. And specifically, we're going to be talking about 2 sub pieces of the full puzzle here today. We're going to be talking about offer, and we're going to be talking about paid, and what I've done for the last decade or so for paid traffic, and what I focus on a lot of my time and effort on, which is right there. Now, you're probably wondering, Cody, I showed up for this 10X thing. I want to learn all about paid traffic. Well, you can't learn about anything without learning about offer first, no matter what you do. And John can attest to this. This is something we work heavily on with him. Every time we run an ad and somebody comes to me, they say, Cody, my ad is working, but I want it to work better. The first thing you should work on is the offer. That's going to be the thing that moves the needle the most. Now, if you don't build the right foundations in your business, guys, this is how you end up riding the roller coaster. So now we're gonna switch it up a little bit. Now we're gonna go with the number 2. Okay, drop me a 2 in the chat if this sounds familiar. Every time you get a new client, you sign a new deal, you're the happiest person in the world. Life is great. I'm a rock star. Nothing can ever bring me down. Every time you lose a client, you go the other way. You're riding the roller coaster down on the other side. Now it's like, shit, man, I don't know if this business is going to be able to survive. I don't know where am I going to replace that person from? Where am I going to get this to actually work, right? Now drop me a 2 in the chat if that's ever happened to you, if your business has ever been inconsistent like that whatsoever. That kind of stuff comes from not having consistency in your offer, not having consistency in your traffic, not knowing what bucket I'm going to go reach into. It's kind of the truth that you're telling yourself, damn, I just lost that client. Now I got to go almost start everything all over again and figure out how am I going to go get that next client, because I don't have a consistent pipeline, a consistent way to generate traffic. The businesses that you see all around you that are succeeding, that are growing, that are scaling. And you see me doing this a lot in all my videos. This is ceilings, right? Every so often we run into a ceiling, all right? And that ceiling requires more effort. We have 2 things in life that we can spend on everything. We can spend money, we can spend time. Time requires energy. Money requires money, okay? And in order to get that energy and to push that time and to push that limit to invest in yourself, you need to be energized. And when you're constantly looking for that next client and constantly down because you lost one and not able to just kind of like say, okay, I know where I'm going to replace that person, that gets you out of that hump. Some people lose a client to ride the roller coaster so hard, you're down for a week. You're just spiraling. You're on tilt. Who in here plays poker? Raise your hand or give me a thumbs up if you've played poker before in your life. Yes, no? 2 of you, all of 2 of you have played poker. Come on, people. This metaphor is not going to work, but I'm going to tell it anyway. When people are like this, what ends up happening is you're on what's called tilt. Okay, it's like you're playing a game of poker. You used to be big stack, or you thought you were on your way there. You lost a big hand, and now you're on tilt. Now every decision you make is emotionally muddied. It's like the fog of war in any of those old video games. You can't see in front of you properly anymore, and you end up stuck. The way to get through that, number 1, is by listening to everything my man John tells you about mindset and helps you bulletproof that shit so it doesn't even phase you. And number 2 is having a consistent pipeline that you can go dip into anytime you want. When you know that the next client is right there, it doesn't matter that you lost this guy, because now you can go and spend the time you were spending fulfilling for him, replacing him with 2 more. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Love it. Still, so many people not on video. What do we got? Oh, I did add an extra layer. We're up to 15. It must mean that I started, saying something a little bit more exciting. So that's good that a few more of you showed up. But let's get a few more guys. I got a whole second page now of people who are hiding from me. I'm not scary. I don't bite. I won't yell at you unless you stay off of camera for too long, and then I probably will. So come off, give me some thumbs up when you're here, and let's keep going. Now, all of this can be avoided by building the right system, and that starts with the scary offer method. All right, it starts right there. Now, there's a couple slides here where I say I'm going to introduce myself. John did a fantastic job of that. So I'm going to hover on this beautiful page for like 2 seconds and not rah about me for too much longer, other than to say I've been doing this for a while. We've made some money. I've helped some people that you guys know, and we're going to move on because you guys want to dive into the nuts and bolts. So who is ready to start learning about this shit? Who's ready? Give me some thumbs up, some ones in the chat. You guys should know where that button is by now. Ones in the chat, thumbs up, one.
By the way, before you do start, Cody, I just actually, I got a notification on my phone. There was a study from Forbes that said if you don't have video on, that your business is going to fail.
I've read that study.
I saw that this morning. So I think your biz. Oh, that Sharon came up. She just came sprinting to turn to that video button on. So, and it's a real study. You guys should Google it. But after this, just make sure that your guys' businesses don't fail. So everybody without video on, best of luck to you. With video on, I'm excited to see your progress. Cody, take it away.
Remind me, John, it had like a 98% certainty, right? That was what the stat said.
I thought it was 198% certainty.
198. Oh, that's my bad. I was wrong. Yeah. Good. I guess a lot of these people are just going to fail after today, but the people who are on aren't. Good. Well, that scared an extra 5. Now we're up to 20. So, one study at a time, and we'll get there with every single one of you guys. Let's dive into this shit, guys. Let's go a little bit further. So why is this so important? Here's what most people do. All right. They spend 90% of their time focusing on how beautiful can I write this story? How lovely can I take a picture? They whip out this little thing and they say, which angle of this looks great? And then they give it to a graphic designer and they say, how pretty can you make those words? And then they go into their funnel and they spend, who knows, God knows how long, depending on how OCD you are, and trying to make the prettiest funnel. And then they launch it. So positive that ad, that image, that audience that they picked out is going to be the best thing ever. And it fails. And what do they do at that point? They go right back into all that nonsense and they start making the same soup all over again. When all that actually matters at the end of the day is the reverse of that. You're spending 90% of your time trying to make something so pretty. You're trying to make something so beautiful looking, so nice that you think is going to be perfect. Instead of that, you're not spending any time on your offer. You spend 10 seconds on your offer. You're like, I know my audience. They want 10 leads, or they want a couple of appointments, or they want to make a bunch of money in finance, or they want a software that's going to be cheaper than the other software. They want all of this stuff. And we assume that we know what they want. Maybe that's because we used to be in that industry, or maybe that's because we've had a few clients and they were super happy clients. And so obviously I've made the best thing since sliced bread. And so when it doesn't work, we don't blame what should be blamed or tweak what should be tweaked. What we end up doing is we spend all of our time thinking, well, I just didn't write that story well enough, or well, maybe my landing page has too much social proof on it, or too many buttons, or not enough buttons, and all this crap that at the end of the day really, really doesn't matter. All of that should be reversed. 90% of your time should be focused on research and creating an offer that actually connects with your audience. Because I'll tell you right now, I've seen some of the shittiest, and excuse my French, I swear a little bit, I'm up here in Canada, the shittiest actual landing pages that look like they were built on Windows 98 with whatever that, anybody used to use that weird old Windows like web developer thing. I used to code like 10 years ago, and it was like part of the Office suite, and you could literally type HTML code into it and it would shit out these like 90s websites that were absolute crap. I've seen landing pages built on that, but because they had good offers, they outperformed the most beautiful WordPress based websites you've ever seen in your life. And it tells you something. All right. It tells you that the offer is what moves the needle. Everything else you're trying to do after that is great for refining something that already works. If you found something that you're getting really good return on your ad spend, meaning the actual lagging indicators, and something you're going to hear me talking about today, leading indicators, those are your vanity metrics, things that make you feel important. Lagging indicators, those are the things that you, your client, or your end line actually matter, right? Those are the sales. Sometimes you can call them sales calls, depending on how good the sales team are, but the main thing over here for leading indicators is going to be your traffic, your likes, your leads. Yes, guys, leads are not a lagging indicator. They are a leading indicator. And then over here, you're making your money. The thing that's going to make you your money is the offer, and everything else can be refined to get you heavier traffic on the front end, but the offer is going to make the difference. If you come up with a strong, scary offer, you'll find that no matter what you're doing, okay, guys, and this is actually works in both organic and paid. It's one of the main things we focus on right at the very beginning of our entire program, the Get Shit Done Accelerator, because it matters for every other aspect that we do. All right, and if we go back up here and we're talking about this, all this traffic starts with this offer, organic, paid. That scary offer can now be leveraged everywhere you go because that's going to be the most powerful bullet in your chamber at that point. But it all starts with identifying specifically who you're going to talk to. And no matter what industry you're in, niche is a thing. Okay. If you're a financial advisor, who is the person that you're going to actually advise best? If you're a software developer, you know, what industry can you do the best work for? If you're a marketer, what industry are you going to do the best for? If you're a coach, you know, are you coaching people on health, fitness, business? What are you going to do? Then you have 3 or 4 things you need to have the perfect client. All right. Before you can even worry about the offer, you have to know who you're talking to. You have to research what it is they want. And that's why we go through these steps. A few things that you want to have, 3 things: an industry in which you have a proven track record of results, an industry in which can afford to pay you high ticket retainers, money, or whatever. I find that to be important. You can waive it. If money's not your thing, that's cool. You know, I like to always quote Boiler Room on this. You know, what is it that he stands up and says? He says, you know, you think money can't buy happiness? Look at the smile on my fucking face. And he just grins at ear to ear and he points at the chair. That's life. So that's up to you. Now, the other side of this over here, okay, is what we're talking about, which I find to be more important. All right. And this is one that's, you know, hugely neglected. It's a group of people that you truly enjoy working with. All right, now we're going back to this, guys. This is the ceilings, the levels and shit that we're talking about, okay? This is great. If I get great results and they can pay me money, that's awesome. And that's going to get me far. But eventually you're going to hit up against one of these where you're rolling out of bed every single day and you got to talk to nothing but these assholes all day long. And all that does is drain you. You roll out of bed, you don't want to get out of bed. You got to call at 8 a.m., you don't want to do that. You just want to stay and sleep. You got to call at 10 a.m., you know, I don't want to do that, right? And that's going to do the opposite of what we want. That's going to drain you of your energy, when what we really need is something that motivates me. Okay, because if I want to talk to more of these people, no matter whether it's good or bad, because no matter what we do, guys, there's people in any industry that are going to bring you down that you're not going to enjoy talking to. But if you're energized to fix those problems, if you're energized to go get more of it, that's how you smash the ceilings. That's how you work a little harder, invest a little more in your development, and actually get to that next level. Drop me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense, if that resonates with you. Maybe you thought you were going to work with a certain subset of people at one point and all they did was drain you a little bit and you just couldn't take it and you moved on from it. Drop me a 2 if you did move on from it and it actually helped you out. If it was the best decision you ever made was to work with some new people that you actually got energized by and you got to go and make some money. Love it. Look at all these 2s, guys. That's the kind of shit that I like to see, because that means you've been paying attention. That means that you did something in your life that you changed, and it means you should be hitting that next level right now. Pausing one more time. I got 1 more row at the bottom to fill out. I got Kedre, Kevin, Luna, and Tiago. If those 4 people actually came on video, I would suddenly have a whole page of people on video and I'd feel much better about myself. What do you guys think? Thumbs up if they should come on video. The rest of you guys, thumbs up, thumbs up. Oh, we got 2. We got 2. I need 2 more. 2 more. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. One more person who wants to be that wonderful person.
Cody actually has, I forgot to tell you guys this in the intro, but Cody actually has this rare disease to where if there's people that are off video, he'll start to actually have a seizure. So make sure that we don't, you know, if he's going to get through this, he can't be having a seizure halfway through. So John Tetlak, Sydney King, Richard Shanks, you should know better, sir. Kelsey O'Neill, Zed, Damien, come on, you guys.
Oh, he came on. Josh came on for a second and then he left. He got scared and he left.
That's
again.
what she said. It
was so close. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to start convulsing here. I don't know. I don't feel like we can move on until 1 more person comes on video. There it is.
Hey.
Boom. There. Now I have a whole page of video and I can keep going. Love it. Now, point of this is to find people that energize the shit out of you, that motivate you to work harder, that motivate you to what? Get shit done, because that's how we level up. That's how we actually get through this shit and move on to the next level every single time. Now, pro tip number 1 is align your business around the lifestyle you want to live. Some people don't want to work end to end in their life. I hate hustle culture. And I'm a hypocrite about it because I wake up early in the morning, I go to sleep late at night, and I work the whole damn time. I go to Europe and I have my laptop everywhere I go. I do all kinds of stupid shit like that. But that's because I've designed my whole life since I was a kid to do whatever the hell I want. And what I want happens to be what I do. And so it all works out nicely. If that's not you, then figure that out. If you want to travel, there's all kinds of shit you can do while you work, while you travel. If you don't want to work all the time, there really is a 4-hour work week. You might not be, as successful as others, but you can do a really good job at that. But align yourself, your goals, the people you're talking to, the stuff that you're building, and specifically towards this, the niche that you work in to fit that lifestyle. Everything is methodical in life. And every time that we want to hit something, it's the persistency to actually go do it. Okay, being persistent and then working on it over and over and over again until you do it. I always refer to this book. Drop me a 1 in the chat, guys, if anybody's read this book, Good to Great, Jim Collins. It's an old school business book. It's fantastic. If you have not read it, I suggest that you do. It talks about a concept called the flywheel concept in this book, where it's a giant metal wheel that you push. And every time you push it, it's the heaviest thing in the world, guys. It moves like this much, right? But after a while, years and years and years of pushing it, one spin can make it go and go and go and go and go. And it's not that one spin that does it. It's all the momentum that you've built up from all the pushes that you've done along the way that allow you to get there. And that's what I want you guys to think about here. That lifestyle needs to be the end goal. Okay, and to get there, you need to be doing all these minutia, all these pushes along the way, because that's how you're going to get shit done. Pro tip number 2, identify your Dream 100 so you can build your audience. When I say Dream 100 in this sense, I do not mean Russell Brunson's Dream 100 clients. I mean Dream 100 locations for where your clients hang out, meaning Facebook groups, online forums, whatever weird Reddit questions that they're talking about that day. Figure it out, go find them, talk to them, build their audiences so that you can make that shit work. Now, one more time, the perfect recipe for the perfect client, the perfect niche. Proven results, high ticket business, high ticket retainers, and energizes you. It all fits into this perfect little cog, guy, and it creates a foundational piece. And that's what I'm always trying to tell people. Build the foundation so that as your business grows, it doesn't collapse in on itself. It raises itself up. Because if you do that properly, you can crush it. And every new level that you hit, instead of being overwhelmed and, that dreaded word we always talk about as entrepreneurs, burnt out, you're not going to get burnt out because you've built all the pieces that are needed to actually hit the top of the castle without any stress at all. Foundational pieces are important so that you don't end up on the wrong side of it. Okay, guys, makes sense? Drop me a 1 in the chat. I haven't smashed the 1 button in a while. Drop me a 1. And yeah, Good to Great by Jim Collins. I know somebody asked that question. 1. What is that, like 4 1s? Everybody else fall asleep on me? Come on, guys. Where's all the 1s? Everybody on the screen can thumbs up. That's fine. I take that too. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Amber's giving me the number 1 sign. Love it. Everyone else, good, cool. Now, once you know your market, you need to learn their language. All right. Now, when I ask you guys, and I want some of you guys to drop this in the chat, what do you do for your client? If you have an elevator's ride worth of time to tell me what it is that you do, write that in the chat right now. And as you do, and I expect every single one of you guys is paying attention to do it, as you do that, I'm going to go through this. What most marketers say, we work with a lot of marketers, is I generate client opportunities for coaches through Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. If I talk to a coach, oftentimes they'll tell me, hey, I help fitness coaches generate leads online organically. Or, I help people. I can't remember what it was that John told me the first time. I wish I had written that down, but too late for that now, guys. Write your offer down in the chat. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. This is how you can get some free consultation right now by dropping that in there. Maybe it will help you make it a little bit better. Maybe we'll figure it out, because by the end of this exercise, a couple slides later, we can talk about how to make that shit better. Now, this one here, right here specifically, do you see what's wrong with this? It's that the average person, client, student, whatever, customer, can't possibly connect with what you're saying. A trap that we fall into is using our own languages, our own words to actually project what we think they want onto them. And also at the same time, give ourselves sometimes a little bit of an ego boost by saying, I'm so awesome and I can do this. Like, I've learned all these skills. Look at all these things I've done. Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO. Look at all these awesome things I can do. When at the end of the day, what does a client actually give a shit about? It sounds intelligent and important to you, but it doesn't resonate because you're using your language and not theirs. Now let's read through a couple of these ones that I help men get their power back in their lives when they feel out of control and nothing is working for them. B2B white label reseller. We get course owners in the beauty space 5 figures a month through their course sales. I help teams raise money for their season. I help adults revitalize their body, confidence, and sex drive. I like a couple of these are good, right? Course owners, 5 figures. These are getting specific. I do like it. Help women in their 50s take care of their bodies and get back in shape. That is perfect. This one that Anna just put in there is great. She's calling out specifically her audience, exactly what she would do, stuff like this. And we'll see how we refine this in a minute. But when we start to add more specificity to that in timelines and risk reversal, if we can condense that a little bit further, you're going to have so many conversations started, more leads and increase their net profits. This, again, we're in the right spot here, Edmund. We're starting down the right path, but what we need to do, and we'll talk about this in a sec, is again, add specificity, add some risk reversal, add some stuff in here that really, really makes this stand out from other people. And that's what we need to do. Now, to start this, guys, what do we need first? We need to do research. Okay, we need to go back and remember what we're doing here is ads. What that means is we're doing marketing first, and marketing has principles that we should follow that a lot of people forget all about. One of those principles is to actually, go out and research your market and know who the hell you're talking to. It's something that, a lot of us neglect, I think, too much. And how we want to get that research, guys, is by paying for someone's time, right? We want to take someone out to a research lunch. We want to go look at existing clients, free coaching call, free consultation call, free $50 ad credit, do whatever you need to do to sit down with them. And if you're not doing this right now, no matter what industry you're in, you need to have some form of an onboarding survey and an exit survey. Those are our most important pieces of information because we can ask things like, hey, Mr. Client, Mr. Student, Mr. Customer, what is it that made you actually first, look at us as an option? And then 2, actually pick us to work with. Can you see how invaluable that is? Guys, drop me 1 in the chat if you can understand how invaluable that is so that you can then leverage that, mirror that back further and enhance that in your marketing. That kind of stuff can become so important. When you start out, for all of you numbers nerds out there, yes, 100 million%, you are not going to get a statistically relevant sample size out of any of this crap because you'd have to go through a shit ton of people. But what you can do is get real information from people who are in your exact market because they have either bought from you or they're friends with you and you know their business. Go out of your way and find this stuff out. Go out of your way and figure out what it is that they want. What you need to research is the big 5, their biggest pain points. Have them describe their pain points to you in their own language. Full stop. 2 in the chat if that makes sense of why that's important. Have them describe their pain points in their language. Too many of us assume we know what they want, right? Agencies think that people want clients, but maybe they're a gym owner and they actually want members, or a real estate agent and they want listings, or a doctor and they want patients, right? Financial advisor might assume that they want money or they want return, when maybe in reality, what they want is peace of mind. Maybe they don't need any more money at all. Maybe it's that they're worried that their family isn't going to have any of the money that they've worked so hard to get when they pass away. There's all kinds of stuff that them describing their pain to you can allow you to unlock in your marketing. Their biggest desires, again, do they not want to work on weekends ever again? Do they want to travel the world? Think about the things that you thought of 5 seconds ago when I said build your business around the lifestyle you want to live. Where did your mind wander to when I said that? Was it making a shit ton of money and being a baller? Cool, that's awesome. Was it freedom? Was it family time? Was it travel? Think about how you would describe your biggest desires and then look at what they're actually telling you they want. Pain points, desires, end goals, all of this shit matters. All of this stuff is what we need to be using in our scary offers. What they've already tried. Okay, this one's important because this is where we can say stuff like, hey, I'm going to help you, avoid taxes, or I'm going to help you double your portfolio in the next 5 years, while avoiding taxes just like the rich, right? And so this right here, this part right here, what have they tried before can help you figure that out. Because why did they not stick around with them? What was it that made them fire that last guy? That's going to be helpful for not only your offer, but also for helping you avoid that same pile of crap in the future. Industry lingo, guys. This is super important. Industry lingo and industry goals. This is where you're going to have them actually tell you in their words, what do they want? Clients, ROAS, customers, they want roofs, they want patients, they want jobs, they want money, they want safety, they want stuff. What are they using you to build that software to do, right? Are they creating customer retention with that software? Are they trying to go in and create clients? Are they just trying to get as many users as they possibly can and they need it to be sticky so that those customers never ever leave and they open the app and they actually use it? What is it that you need that thing to do, or you need to say your stuff will do, so that people want to raise their hand and say yes? Because we all know what most people are doing. They're using their own words. I can develop your app at 50% of the cost of the next guy, or I can help you, get yourself set up for retirement, or I can help you get 30 clients. Do you want to sound exactly like every other person in your entire industry, or do you want to stand out of the red ocean and book some damn appointments and start some conversation? Right, guys? Makes sense? One in the chat, thumbs up in the air. We still got a whole page of videos, John. It's a beautiful thing. Oh my God, we got a second page starting now.
Yeah, thank you guys for not letting Cody die today.
I stopped season. Look, I'm not even shaking anymore.
I need him. He brings me clients.
Once you have this, okay, I like to tell the story through our students sometimes. We have a student, Cam and Casey, came to us, started to understand these principles. They were able to finally start putting this shit together, right? They were able to finally start thinking, oh man, this makes a lot of sense. Right? And I always like to tell it through the eyes of people who have actually used our shit, so you guys aren't just like, oh, this guy's just talking his ass off. People do this, people use it, people make it work. But what they needed to do then was restructure what they do, because a lot of us, agencies, coaches, financial advisors, we become what's called yes men. We do custom work for every client. And what I like to say full stop here is, what does a yes man mean? In an agency, it means I need you to do Google ads. Okay, yeah. I need you to do SEO. Okay, yeah. As a coach, it means, hey, I need some one-on-one attention. Whether that's true or not, you're just like, yeah, of course, let's go have a one-on-one call, right? As an advisor, maybe they're like, I need to buy and sell this today. And tomorrow I want crypto. And yesterday I wanted a llama NFT, because what the hell is a llama NFT, right? And so it doesn't matter. The point is, like a software developer, you can be like, yes, I'll make that adjustment. Yes, I'll make that adjustment. But there's such a thing called scope of work. And if you want to build a scalable business, which we're talking about here, foundational pieces, right? Then we need to have a scalable offer. A funny thing about when we become yes men for our clients, we have this interpretation of that they're going to like us more and stay forever because of that. That every one of these extra things that we do makes them appreciate us more. It makes us the more important piece in their life, that we're going to help them make more money. They're never going to leave. They'll probably pay us more in the future. The funny thing is, it actually has the opposite effect 9 times out of 10. What actually ends up happening is they just assume, because you said yes, that that's a part of what you're paid to do already. In fact, it devalues you, because now they start to think that you're just doing anything that they want you to do. They're going to be telling you to do this, that, and the other. Every other thought that they have that comes into place, that's going to be your responsibility. It's not making you some bigger person and putting you up on a pedestal. It's just meaning that they now assume that that work was a part of the original retainer price point cost in the first place. And so eventually, they're still going to fire you if it's not doing a good work. And it's not, because you're stretching yourself out too thin. You're not staying within your zone of genius. You're not doing the plan that was originally laid out to make them money and get them clients and get them customers, or up their portfolio, or whatever it is. It's going to end up being a big waste of time. If you become a yes man for every single client as well, you can't scale. Number one, because you are now stretching yourself thinner for every individual client. And number two, because how the hell are you supposed to ever build a team that can do that? Biggest failure I see in everybody who ever goes to hire a person underneath of them is thinking that they're going to be them. Because, oh shit, are you ever going to be disappointed when they're not? Because nobody can be you in your business. And every time that they can, if they really, really could, if you're running a really good business, but you're all over the place like that, if they could do that, they'd be off doing it themselves. They wouldn't be working for you. I don't care how good they are. They just wouldn't be doing that. They'd be doing it themselves. That's the world we live in. So that cannot be the plan. The plan has to be to stick to repeatable offers that contain the same proven assets for every client. A productized offer, right, has 3 key things: proven results in multiple markets, pre-made assets ready to go, and an obvious end result for the client. Easy to sell. There's a reason I put this. Look at this word right here, easy to sell. If this whole whole thing slide could be only one thing, obvious end result for the client that's easy to repeat and sell. Do you know how many salespeople I have gone through in my lifetime? Some of you guys are salespeople, so you might take this to heart, but they're a bunch of divas nowadays. Okay. And if you overcomplicate it, they will try and also make it overcomplicated. They will try to be coaches to the people on the phone. They will try to answer all the questions to the people on the phone. And the more complicated you make your offer, the harder it is for them to do anything. But if they have one obvious end result that you're selling, right? One thing that they can linchpin themselves to, and then everything else is just a track, like what the Wolf of Wall Street's always saying, the straight line. If the straight line leads directly to an end result at the end, it's a much easier path and struggle just to get them there, because they're on the call in the first place to get to that end result. And therefore, the sale can happen the whole way to the end result. It's just about getting past the fog of war, the objections, and everything else along the way so that you can actually get to that part. Do this right, and you can then delegate this process. Now we're back to that team and actually repeat it, scale, and absolutely crush it. Now, guys, I like to live by the Einstein principle. Okay, if you can't explain it simply, you do not understand it well enough. How does that relate back to easy to sell? I think it's pretty easy to understand. It's a simplified thing. And that's why, remember what I was saying earlier when we went through this brief exercise about what we were saying for your offer, when I had all you guys drop your offers in there. Some of them were like a paragraph long. Some of them didn't have specificity in them. Some of them are using industry jargon. Is it starting to come together? How simplifying this and adding obvious end results and adding timelines and all this kind of stuff is gonna help that out. Drop me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Got 1, 1, 1. I need at least 3 more ones, I think, to make sure that I know all you people are alive. Who's still with me? All right, there's 1, 2 more, 2 more, 2 more. So much sad face. There we go. 1 more, 1 more, 1 more. Boom. Oh, there we got a bunch there at the end. Beautiful. Now, telling people that you run Facebook ads to get traffic or leads and teaching them how to boost their sales organically by coaching them in that organic section sounds great to you, but it doesn't connect with them. Using the language you've now learned, all right? Customer research, using the customer research that you've gone out of your way to find by doing these types of things, okay? And to express the productized service you've now understood how to build, now you can get to a scary offer. All right. Now, why do we call it the scary offer? The first thing is right down here. If it scares you to make it, it scares your competition too. All right. This is the world we live in. Now, what it is a big can't say no promise anchored by end results. All right. The easier to understand it is, and here we go with the Einstein principle. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. The easier to understand it is, then the easier it is to use to fill your calendars and actually close deals. The beautiful thing here is that this doesn't just fill your calendars. It has a trickle down effect of allowing your sales team to actually be able to close the damn deal. Okay, by simplifying the message. The customer understands why they're there. The sales team understands why they're there, and everybody knows the end goal that they're all trying to reach together. Drop me a two in the chat if that makes sense. John, I must have said something bad. We lost 5 whole people down on the bottom. I've lost my full page. I was in such a good mood. Now I'm going to have to start convulsing here soon.
Guys, come on. He's going to have a seizure. He's got this rare disease. I talked to his doctor earlier today, Dr. Vinny Boom Botch. Shout out if you got the Rodney Dangerfield reference. All right. Excellent.
Now, create risk reversal, guys. Do all of this, and you can stand out in a red ocean. All right. And why do I want it to scare you? I want you to literally look at that thing and say, man, I know I can hit that. I know I have hit that, but holy shit, is it ever going to be fun to try and hit that again? The bigger you can stretch your own results. And hey, this allows you to have to go stretch your skill set too. I want it to scare you, because if it scares you, it scares the competition. If it scares the competition, not as many of them are going to make that promise. And now you can get out there and rock that shit. What we do too with a big promise is we anchor it. All right. It's an anchor point. It can cost however damn much you want it to cost. That's the beautiful thing. Okay. It can cost as much money as you need it to cost. And part of this, I forget how. Where are the meeting controls? How do I get out of full share screen here? Technical difficulties. Hold on. There we go. Stop share. All right, guys. So this is how you can work this kind of thing backwards. All right. So we come over here and you have your KPIs. I'm going to do this in agency terms just to make life easy. All right. Say you get $2 leads. All right. You know that. All right. And say 10% of them on average, you book into appointments, and you want to make your scary offer something along the lines of 30 appointments, qualified appointments, 30 days. Make life easy for you to understand. When you know your KPIs, now you can figure that out. So if I want 100 leads, it's going to be $200 in ad spend. If I want 10 appointments out of those 100 leads, it's $200 in ad spend. So now to make that work, right, what do we got to have? 200 times 3 is the ad spend alone. And then whatever you want to make on a month-to-month basis. So then you can then say, okay, cool. So now we're going to charge $3,000 a month for that offer. All right. For the promise of 30 appointments in 30 days. And this is where knowing your business, knowing your results, knowing what you do comes into play. Does that make sense, guys? Drop me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Super important. All right. Now, when you do that and you know your numbers and you've done your math and you have all that stuff locked down, now what you get to do is you get to understand. Okay, and I lost the video now, man. I'm having a time. Here we go. All right, there we go. What you get to do is you get to understand that I can make this big scary offer as big and scary and whatever as I need to. When they get on there and they hear the price of that, they bulk at it. Like, okay, cool, man, that's fine. Now you can downsell them. And this is where the beautiful thing of a value ladder comes into play. The purpose of this and why it scares a lot of people is because they then assume like this is the only thing I can do and this is the only conversation. No, this scary offer is just made to stand out from everybody else and start the conversations organically, paid, everything else. Once these conversations are started, you get to do whatever the hell you want with them. And that's why we talked about the full puzzle and having the sales skills and everything else to rock out life and do all that shit. That's how you get to that moment. But this starts the conversations you need. You want to have a scalable business. You want to be doing that shit. You need a full calendar. To have a full calendar, you need something that's going to actually fill it up. Now, what is a scary offer, guys? It again, one time, the big end result, using the language of your client plus risk reversal equals a winning front-facing scary offer. And I'm going to show you a few examples. These are agency space and coaching space, but let's work through a few other ones that we can talk about what you guys laid in here as well. Now, real estate, 25 guaranteed qualified booked appointments in the next 30 days. We guarantee you a closing using the language of the customer, or we work with you for free. Dentists get 25 guaranteed new patients. Coaches, we guarantee 300 new client opportunities every month. Now, I don't know if she's still in here right now or not, but this is from Ty. She wasn't here. Ty is in the GSD program, and I believe also potentially working with John now. And this is actually her scary offer as a coaching person who's doing coaching for other people. 300 new client opportunities every month, or we work for free. Contractors get 10 jobs, or we work for free. What we want here, guys, and the specificness of what I'm trying to say is to add timelines, add risk reversal, add big promises to it. I want you guys to take notes on all of this kind of stuff on what we worked through right here. And by the end of this, I kind of want to hear you guys, what you guys have come up with. So I saw all your initial scary offers, running a little bit behind, so I'm not going to do it right now. I do tend to talk about a lot of shit on these, so I go a little over. John said at 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours. I'm definitely going 2. I'm just going to tell you all that right now. I want you guys to all write your scary offer, take what you put the scary offer together based on what we talked about right here. At the end of this, we're going to go over a few of them once you've changed them up. Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. One's in the chat. If you're not thumbing up, good, good, good. Love it. Now, by creating and implementing their scary offer, this is how Cam and Case are able to start attracting and closing their dream clients, closing $24,000, $30,000, $15,000 contracts by having an offer that started to attract them. And these were people that had, $0 when they signed up for the GSD program. And when we implemented it, honestly, it was the offer and the sales process that started moving the needle right away for them. By starting more conversations with better people and having a productized offer that was of a longer journey, instead of being transactionally month to month, that allowed them to start crushing. Now that they had their scary offer, it was time to put it to use. Now, who here is already pissed off at me because they came here for an ad seminar and I haven't spoken about ads yet? Thumbs up, guys. Thumbs up or thumbs down if you're fine with it and everything has been fantastic.
I'm already clearing the charge on it.
Love it. Yeah, I hope you guys have taken John's training. You're going to need to clear at least 2 or 3 asshole charges by the end of this for me, so it's all good. Now, once you have the scary offer, it's time to put it to use. Now, there's a very simplified version of what we do that I'm going to go through with you guys here today. I understand that a lot of you guys aren't ads experts. I understand that a lot of you don't want to go through complicated bullshit tech on the back end. So I've taken the normal process that we do and I've refined it back to such an easy thing that you literally don't even have to leave the Facebook platform. You don't have to build any fancy funnels. All you got to do is log in, add a credit card, know your scary offer, and make that shit work. How's that sound, everybody? Drop me a 1 in the chat if that made you take a deep breath and you're like, oh, good. I didn't want to learn all new skills today. I just wanted to learn how to make some money. Yes, yes, good, cool. Now, all that needs to be done for this is what we call the scary offer application process ads. Soap. That's how you clean your business. Take a little soap, you clean it up, everything starts to work a little bit better. All right. What the process is it's a scary offer ad. Very simple. Very simple. I'm going to show you a couple of different designs to make it not too bad. Lead. And this, for this specifically, guys, I'm going to show you funnel designs that we do use for people like John. But what I'm going to actually tell you guys how to do today is just simply set up what's called a lead form on Facebook. So you don't need the complicated tech. Asshole text. We're going to get into that. That's a fun one. Appointment and then sale. Okay. Now, some of this is going to require you to do a few things along the way. All of this can be automated and you can book appointments and you can make money. If you want to make even more money, you're going to need to actually, call some leads, and that sucks, but life sucks. And we got to do what we got to do until we build a team and they start doing it for you. Okay. Yes. Thumbs up again. One more time. Good. Perfect. Now look at this long, overly complicated ad. This is one way to do it. This is where I'm talking about make shit pretty. We run a department of our 7-figure agency called the Real Estate Rainmakers. I like to make things rain money on pictures because that's what I like to have. It doesn't have to look good. I like it. And I own the company. I can do whatever I want. And so here's the picture right here. But the point is you put right here on this, the scary offer, 30 appointments guaranteed for you every month. We make it rain for your business. 30 guaranteed appointments with real buyers or your money back. Everything else up here is just emotional story copy that I know they don't want to deal with. Are you tired of the bullshit? It's the same shit every day. Cold email pitch. I get you leads. I'm literally in this story copy telling the same crap that I just told to you guys. Are you tired of marketers, preaching shit that they think that you care about, but you don't actually give a shit about in any way, right? What you actually want is appointments with actual buyers or a guaranteed closing or whatever, right? That's what this is. Now you can simplify this ad literally right down to this. Okay, we have our students when they first launch ads, they find their scary offer and they literally put out an ad that says, hey, realtor, do you want 25 guaranteed appointments in the next 25 days? Click below to claim your exclusive area. And they put an image similar to this with the thing on it. There's no more 20% text rule bullshit on Facebook. You could literally just put a giant picture with words on it. And people do that all the time. Say your scary offer to them and move the needle. And that's it. This shit with the complicated ad and storytelling, if you're good at it, if you're a good copywriter and you love it, do it and test it out. If not, don't worry about it. Just put your scary offer out there and actually make it work. Step 2, when you go into the Facebook Ads Manager, you're going to set up under an objective called leads. And when you get to the actual part where you set it up, it's going to give you this to set up. That way you don't even have to leave the platform. All right. You simply put it on here. Now, the SOAP ad setup is add to lead form to Calendly survey on the back end. This is all you need. It automatically sets up with phone, email, number. And look at what this says right here. 30 appointments every month guaranteed with real buyers or your money back. Do you see any kind of difference between this sentence here and this sentence here? Anybody see any difference at all? Drop me a 1 in the chat if this is similar, or 2 if it's all different. Please and thank you. Thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down. Good. Why do you think that is, guys? Let's make this an exercise. Somebody drop me a line. Me likey congruency. Me likey your grammar. So that's good too. Anybody else? Anybody else? One more. I have no issue staring at every single one of you until one of you drops me a comment. Ones are not what I'm asking for. Me likey your grandma. It's kind of weird, but okay. I'll let it pass. All right, guys. So this is what he said above. Consistency. There we go. Congruency. What we call ad send. All right. A lot of people will throw a whole bunch of crap on their landing page, a whole bunch of words and shit and more reasons to buy. You don't need that because they clicked on this ad to take an action. They read your ad. They said, hell yes, I want 30 appointments with qualified buyers in the next 30 days. That's what I want. Why would this next page say anything other than that? The only purpose of the landing page, the lead form, whatever, is to actually get them to take the action that they clicked to take. Right? That's it. There should be no distractions. There should be no more information, because more information is just going to confuse them. They don't need more information. They're already sold. They clicked on the ad to actually do the thing already. Don't give them more than what they actually want. Get name, email, and always phone number, because that's what we're going to be leveraging. And next, we're going to have a Calendly survey. All right. So what they have on the thank you page. So once they submit this, it's done. They get to a thank you page. Then you can put an actual survey on your calendar. It says, hey, okay, cool. Claim your area right now. Talk to one of our representatives and book. You're only going to get about 40% of the people that actually end up booking on the thank you page. The rest of them, you're going to outbound dial, and we're going to hit with what we call an asshole text over here. All right. Now, this can be where you qualify people further if you want. But the whole purpose of what we're talking about here is a simplified, frictionless system. Build your list, create a bucket behind you. Okay, the only people that fail at advertising are the ones that are constantly chasing that front end dollar. It's the same thing with organic. If every single month you're like, I put $1 in and did I get my $3 out? You're going to eventually fail, because one, ad expenses are always going to be going up. Two, you're always going to be chasing your own tail. And three, as you scale, that becomes harder and harder to do. The people who win at advertising, the big dogs you see out there spending hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars a month on ads, are actually leveraging the shit behind them more than they give a shit about what's in front of them. They want to make money on the front end, but they're making money on their lists, reactivating them through text messages, creating masterclasses and other stuff that they're able to email out to them. Just simple emails that are actually converting into stuff on the back end. That stuff where we're talking about earlier, which is filling up all the buckets, right? Filling up all the buckets. And the buckets are, where can I monetize? Friends lists, groups, email lists, SMS lists, chat bots, all of this stuff that we create systems to warm up and nurture the people who are there now, who opted in and we got their attention at one point. That's how we make the real money. The next step of this, guys, is an asshole text. Now, what is an asshole text? It's a one-off database reactivation instantly, basically. Immediately upon them signing up, we send them a text. All right, like I said over here, you get about 40, maybe less % of people that will actually on the thank you page just directly book right in. Here, we get most of the rest of them. Everybody who pretty much has the correct number, this goes out instantly to them, and you can send this out using systems like High Level. You can send an Active Campaign, Twilio, or you can physically send a text message from your actual phone if you do not want to do anything else. But sending them a text message automatically as soon as they opt in engages them. All right, some people click on this, they submit this, and guess what, guys? It's the internet, and a lot of people are idiots on the internet, and so they don't even understand. Book a call. Nah, screw that. I've already claimed it. Somebody will get a hold of me. And that's why we want to send this text out right away. And all this means, and why we call it the asshole text, is just because it's a blunt restatement of the actual offer they already want. Hey, this is Ben with the GST team. I wanted to reach out and confirm that you wanted this thing that you just opted in for instantly. Like, yes, of course, that's what I wanted. That's why I clicked on your ad and submitted my information. Mr. Cody, Mr. Ben. And then we call them right away and we book them an appointment, or we just do the sales call right on that thing. Does that make sense, guys? How the asshole text can make sure that we're getting every drip of the leads that are coming through. Good, good, good. And guys, drop your questions. If anything is confusing, I know sometimes I talk at a million miles an hour. So any questions that you have on here, best platform for text sequences. We use High Level. It's beautiful for this kind of shit. There's also, like I said, Twilio, you can do it directly. Active Campaign can do it. I would recommend High Level for it. And we're going to have a chance. I'm going to get somebody, like, just give my link here in a minute for you guys to DM me and shit. If you guys have questions about High Level or any of the other stuff too, we can dive into that. Follow-up monster, Jacob says, yeah, 100%. So what we're doing here, guys, is we're activating shit that we've already got a hold of. We're putting work in. That's the point. To make sure that at every step of the way, we're getting lead, we're getting book calls, we're getting conversations going. And by doing this, we don't have to overcomplicate it. We just have an offer that they want that we now have to connect and give them and make a sale. Simplifying the process, frictionless ads, so that we can get low-cost ads, low-cost appointments, but qualified because they're people within our market that we've learned how to specifically talk to through our customer research using a scary offer they connect with. All right, guys, thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, good. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of landing pages you can use, but remember, this is the simplified version of it. If you don't have a landing page builder, if you don't have a bunch of tech skills that you want to learn, this is the easiest, simplest, quickest way you can have this up and running today. If you've been following along, if you've been creating your scary offer as we talked, you can put that to use in an ad as early as this afternoon by leveraging this simple process. For other people, we do have stuff like this. Now, again, frictionless funnel that serves the exact same purpose as the lead form. For us, we run some ads that are VSLs that teach people organic marketing methods that can help them add 10K to their monthly recurring income without spending a dime on ads. Everybody see how that's a scary offer? Let me tell you the story about how we got to this scary offer. We have an onboarding form for our GSD program. I word mapped out all of the shit that I learned from it. A bunch of words came up. 10K, 30K, ads, don't want to spend money on ads, team building, organic, all of that shit ended up right here in this specificity. What is it that they want? What do they want it without doing? And what do they want it in a time frame? Well, they want to add 10K monthly without spending money on ads. Boom, scary offer. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Is this process of how to come to these offers starting to click with you guys? One in the chat if I can't see you. Let me see some ones in the chat. One. Wow, we got 2 of you guys. Everybody else fall asleep? Let's wake up, people. Come on now. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. Name, email, phone number, always. Name, email, phone number. And everything about this should simply be to get them to take action and actually put it through. Now, the interesting thing about these funnels is that on page 2, we can get them a little bit more jazzed to actually book the call. So the real purpose of this is once you're ready to build them, what we do is we create a VSL, what's called a power offer VSL. Now, the purpose behind this is that everybody has a goldfish brain nowadays. What I mean by that is you have all of about 9 seconds on Facebook. It's an interrupt platform. They are not there to do whatever the hell it is you want them to do. They're there to look at pictures of kitties and talk to their friends and yell at the government. That's what they're there to do. They're not there to talk to you. But if you get an ad that works, you can interrupt them for like 9 seconds, and then you get them excited for like 9 more seconds, and then you get maybe 10 minutes of a video. And in that video, what you're going to want to do is sandwich it, put an offer at the very front. Don't worry about, they're never going to watch your 40-minute webinar, so don't do that shit. But put it at the beginning, put it at the end, and then over here, make your scary offer for what it is you want them to do. And you'll be able to get way more book calls. This will up your book call rate quite a bit from what the other one was. And that's why we want to put that into use. Now, how do you create targeting? How do you decide on what you want to do for targeting? This all comes back again to the customer research. All right. Who is it that we're trying to target? Are we trying to target wealthy people? Are we trying to target, entrepreneurs, coaches? All of those things have audiences that other people have already built for you. Okay. If you're trying to target coaches in general, well, guess what? Russell Brunson's built an entire system around just that exact same thing. And guess who you can target? Russell Brunson as an interest category. So what's he probably going to have? A whole bunch of coaches in there. If you're trying to target real estate investors, Robert Kiyosaki is in there. Frank Cardone is in there. You got all these people that have already built audiences for you. Are you trying to target 20-year-old assholes who think that they're hustlers? Gary Vaynerchuk. It's perfect for it, right? There's all kinds of people out there who have built audiences for you that you now get to go just tap into. And when you're starting to run out of it, the next thing that we can do, job titles, we can do interests. And then when we start to fluctuate, this beautiful thing Facebook does is allow you just to hack your competitors' targeting. Go through your newsfeed. I'm guaranteeing you, because you're in your industry and because Facebook does listen to you in one way or another, your newsfeed is going to be filled with ads from other people who do exactly what you do. What you want to do is click on these 3 little beautiful dots up here in the newsfeed, and you're going to click on, why am I seeing this ad? All right, now, what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to go, and we're going to go do it ourselves. Let's just go look at the very first ad inside the newsfeed that we can see. Let's see how long it takes me to find one. Oh, look, it's ours. Perfect. Good. Let's see how this works out. If Facebook ever loads.
I like that ad.
This one here?
Yeah. You need a poop emoji on it, though.
Yeah, you're right down here.
Yeah. And then his girlfriend in the background with a disgusted face.
Come on now, Facebook. All right, it's not going to cooperate. I might not be able to do it. Let's give it 2 more seconds. Facebook's been extra slow for me the last few days. Here we go. Why am I seeing this ad? Now, 2 things you can do with this, guys. Number 1, it's going to show you whatever it is that it's doing for targeting. for us. And then 2, you can see your own interests. All right. So Mr. Rahul is trying to reach people that Facebook thinks are interested in HubSpot, which is a marketing software. So interestingly enough, that's where it is. Primary location is Canada, 18 or older. It tells you what they're doing for targeting on this. Okay. So you can take this and you can find interests that you can then do. Now, you can also then click in and review your own interests. If you're in your target market, this can be huge. If you're one of these types of people, go through and look. I happen to be in my own target market, so this was super useful to me. Infusionsoft, Social Media Examiner, Jay Abraham, that's weird. Tony Robbins, online shopping. Look at all these things that Facebook has kept track of what they think I like over the years. And all of this research that you can do on your own target market. Or if you have a friend who's in your target market and they're willing to let you look at their Facebook for a minute, you can do this on theirs and see what interests they have. This can be a gold mine of interests for you to be able to go and target simply by doing this simple research. That makes sense, guys? Drop me 1 in the chat if that makes sense. And if it's something you're gonna put to use. Who's broken their 1 button yet, guys? It seems like some of them are still working. We got 1, there we go. Now, like I said, guys, the losers of paid traffic are the ones that chase only front-end sales. The winners are those who understand the power of the buckets they fill up behind them. That's how you truly scale. Database reactivation that we do consistently, which again, using these text message-based systems, allows us to reactivate and make a shit ton of money. A shit ton of money by leveraging the stuff behind us. That's one of the main ways that John has been able to cash in over the last couple of months, is by doing stuff exactly like this, starting conversations with people who actually end up going, oh, I forgot all about you. I haven't forgotten. I'll be reaching out just sometimes, facing difficulties. Let's jump on a quick call, jump on that quick call and make the sale. And we have a whole bunch of reactivation examples right here. If you guys want to screenshot this, go ahead. I'm going to leave it up for a second, but you'll notice all these are conversational, right? They can leverage a new offer, a new scary offer that we might have made to be able to get in there and absolutely crush it. To take a minute and start a conversation. Like you spoke to us recently, so this can be one where, maybe they missed their booked call. We never got a chance to get you back on the calendar with us. Is this an error on mine, or are you ignoring us on purpose? Ha ha ha. We're using language like the ha-has and that kind of shit to be able to sound like a person. Because when we sound like automations, a lot of times we'll get ignored. A lot of times we won't be able to make that work. That's where we fall off on the other end. But when we can start a conversation and get them to actually say, hey, I don't know who the hell this is. It's a good message. I'm taking notes though. Starts the conversation and we get back down around to the point where we're actually now going to have a call with them, be able to close them, be able to book them back in our calendar and all that kind of stuff. But if we don't do this part, right? If we're not leveraging through emails, text messages, classes, content, whatever, and we're only chasing that front end sale, eventually that's a zero-sum game. Eventually you're not going to be happy with the results. You're going to turn it off. And that's where you end up failing. Now, the scary offer application process, the main thing I want you to see is, see this guy right here? Who's seen this meme before? 2 in the chat if you've seen this and if this resonates with you, this little diamond guy right here, okay? This guy down here is 90% of people who run paid traffic right here. They're so close, but they get pissed off. They give up. They say the hell with it. This guy up here is a hustler. He's going to make it. I have faith in this top guy that he's going to make it the whole way there. The point here, guys, is don't give up early. All right. Just because it doesn't print money right away doesn't mean it's not going to work. You come on a thing like this, a masterclass, and you hear, me get introduced as the guy who brings 10x, blah, blah, blah. It's not every single time. It's not guaranteed. The point is you have to find an offer that works and be persistent. Yeah, I do it well, and I've done it for a long time. And still, every campaign doesn't work instantly for me. It's not magic. It's work. It's a process, and it's a proven process that just like every other part of your marketing, when you do it right, when you do the research correctly, and you are persistent with it and learn from your mistakes, meaning we're not taking ads and doing the spaghetti thing and throwing it against the wall and one of those happens to work and that's great. No, we're testing variables. We're learning from the stuff that we're doing. That's how we can make this kind of stuff work. The number one reason most agencies fail at this, most people who run ads fail at this, is because they're far more sensitive about their own money than they are about anybody else's. They pull the plug way too early instead of giving the platform the time it needs to optimize. Do not be this guy down here. Look at how sad he is. You want to be happy, right? You want to hit the diamonds. The only way to hit the diamonds is to keep going, to keep putting the work in and making sure that you get all the way to the end. The truth is, guys, you don't need to have the best looking ad around. You don't need to have the prettiest graphic, the best copy, the most beautiful funnel. All people want to do is know what it is you can do for them, especially in an ad. Most of the time, guys, these are internet strangers, people who have no effing clue who the hell you are. They have no idea. Zero idea. Okay. It's interesting when we get in our own little circles, we start to think that we're surrounded by everybody in our own industry and everybody knows everybody and all this crap. Trust me, it's a big world out there. When you start running ads, nobody knows who the hell you are. The only thing they care about is the only thing most people care about. What is it that you can do for me? The relationship comes later. And a lot of us, you know, we love what we do and we connect so well with our clients. So we just know that if we could just have a conversation and start helping you, you know, we're going to really get along and like each other and you're going to stay with me forever. But out in the cold, vast wilderness of the internet where they don't know who the hell you are, that doesn't matter yet. All that matters is how can I start that conversation? Then you can leverage your power of relationship, your power of connection with them after that. That's why they're going to stay with you. But how they start with you is by knowing what it is you can do for them. Okay, make a scary offer in their language that is irresistible. Guys, you will win every single time because you will start more conversations than the competition. You will get more closes than the competition. You will have a consistent pipeline that gets you off the roller coaster and you'll be able to finally take that shit to the next level. Once these guys did it, they started being able to close contract after contract, $24,000 contracts, $30K contracts, $78K contract, all that shit, because it came together and they were able to scale and do it over and over and over and over again by having a consistent offer. Same as with all these other people that have been through the GSD program, that implemented, that have been able to build their actual dream customers by filling the puzzle up and completing what it is that we were going to do. Now, today, what we went over specifically, offer and paid. The interesting thing is this kind of stuff can reverberate through all of the rest of it. Organic is affected highly by the scary offer. Sales is affected by how much this traffic can actually fill up your pipeline. And then systems are stretched to the actual brink by all the new sales and clients and customers that you're bringing in. Now, seeing this after that, does that make more sense to you guys? Drop me a 1 or a 2 or a thumbs up in the chat if the puzzle pieces are all kind of starting to come together in your brain, how all of that kind of makes sense. We got a question right here from, how long does it usually take to test a campaign before trying a new one? Let me bring up a thing to talk about that. Hold on. I'm going to show you through something else. Now, while I do this, we have a free gift for you guys. All right. Jacob, my man, is going to drop a link to my profile inside the chat. Okay. Because I've been working with John for so long, and because you guys are all wonderful people who have actually stayed pretty damn engaged the whole way through. So congratulations to all you guys. I love you guys. This has been amazing so far. I've got a full course, all right, that we normally charge for, 100% charge for. There's about 25 hours plus of our top trainings in here, stuff just like this, mostly focused around organic traffic, paid traffic, sales, looks just like this. Okay, all of this right here, high performance mindset, niche stuff, scary offer stuff where we can dive into this even more, lowest hanging fruit, roadmap, perfect stranger method, which is organic, 8 sales framework, which is paid sales stuff. And each one of these is another like 2-hour long masterclass. So guys, there is a lot of stuff in here and we normally 100% do charge for it, but I wanted to give away a gift to you guys because John is awesome and you guys are all awesome. So he did just drop my link to my profile in there. What I want you guys to do is click that and DM me the word GSD, $, if you can. What I'm going to do right now is grab this for my man who asked the question, and I'm going to show you something. So what we do over here. All right. Now pop all this stuff back up.
Guys, as he's pulling that up, just to let you know, I've worked with probably 24 media buyers, ad people over the last 4 years, like actually directly. And there's a reason why I work with Cody, why he's the only person that has been left standing after literally knowing, I don't say everybody in this industry, but I know a lot of people in this industry, and I've had a lot of them, basically tested a lot of them out. And a lot of it is a bunch of bark but no bite. And I will say it's very, very hard, as Cody said, to find people that are good at what they do and then sustainably good at what they do and actually give a shit. And I will tell you that, I mean, Cody and I meet every week. He runs my shit, and he does a very, very good job, and he actually fucking cares. So the fact that he's giving away, like, I don't, what do you charge? Is that your 1K course?
Yeah, this is usually about $1,000, about $1,000 for this one.
I mean, I asked him, hey, what can you give away that's like super dope for these people? And he's hooking you guys up. So make sure that you DM him in his actual Facebook profile, not in the chat, but click the Facebook link that's been dropped a couple times here. DM him, get that. He's good. He's very good.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of people dropping it in the chat. In this chat, guys, the link that Jacob put there, make sure you click on that and do it to my profile, because that's going to be the way we can track it. Otherwise, I won't be able to get to them all today. So that's how I want to make sure you guys. So
yeah, once this Zoom closes and whenever we wrap up, all those things that you guys are dropping in there will be gone, and you will not get what you came here for. So DM him on his Facebook profile, por favor. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
All right. I appreciate the kind words, John. As always, my man. So what I want to go through right now, I've lost the question. Let's see where we got this. All the way up here. He said, how long does it usually take to test a campaign before trying a new one? So because you asked such a good question, I'm actually going to give this to Jacob too. This is not normally a part of the course, but I'm going to give this beautiful spreadsheet flowchart thing here that I have created for our fulfillment course, and that's going to be free to you guys too. So you guys can all thank Mr. Jarian for a whole new present, because sometimes when people ask good questions, I give more shit away. So it's amazing how that works. So now, along with the free course, you're going to get this as well. Now, what this is specifically, this is me living by my own word. It's amazing when people take their own advice, right, guys? Who here takes their own advice? Thumbs up if you've ever taken your own advice. Yeah, there we go. Seen some thumbs down, some wobbly thumbs. It's a hard thing to do. This is a flowchart. What I mean by taking my own advice, I mean the Einstein principle. If you can't explain things simply, you do not know them well enough. I feel like I know this shit pretty well. And so I've created flowcharts for not only this, but for optimizing. And what this is telling you, who are you? Are you in an industry like real estate, coaching, e-commerce, and then it tells you what exactly the initial setup, I believe, for each campaign should be. And then to answer Jarian's question specifically, we get into something that I don't know if you guys know who Cat Howell is, but I have about 3 or 4 testimonials from Cat Howell through using this system and through putting this all together. This is called the rapid fire testing methodology. So what this is me allowing you guys to understand how not to throw the spaghetti on the wall. Who remembers me from saying that earlier? Why I say that is the way most people build ads and do ad campaigns is they take a whole bunch of shit that they build and they throw it on the wall. And then when one of those ads works, they go, good job, Cody. Good job, self. Way to go, man. You actually did it. And then they have no idea why it worked or how it worked or what the hell is going on. This system for testing allows us to boil this down to an actual process. And what that means is now we get to test variables. And what that means is when we know which variables are working, when we go to build future ads, now we get to understand, hey, this offer worked, this image worked, this copy worked, this headline worked, and all this other shit did. And so let's start there and go from that point. Drop me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Ones, thumbs up, thumbs up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good, good, good. Perfect. Now, what this means is step one, round one, what we do is we have one basic ad. We call this the control ad. It can be as simple as creating an ad based off of this that we talked about earlier. Where is it? So many slides. Here we go. A simple ad, a control ad that says exactly this with maybe an image that says exactly this. Control ad, okay? And we put that into 3 or 4-ish audiences. Now, somebody give me a guess as to why I'm using a control ad and doing 3 or 4 audiences. I guess without reading it, because I've kind of given away the answer right there. Anybody in the chat? Why do we do it that way? What does that allow us to do? Test best audience, correct. That means that the only variable here, right, if we're using one audience, one objective, same lead form, same exact ad, same exact image, the only variable here in step 1 is the audiences. That's it. Then once we allow it to actually go through, we figure it out, we go down here. Is there a clear distinction between our cost per conversion? No, cool, wait longer until there is. Yes, move down and optimize. Pause, 2 of them. Once you have clear winners, you move on to round 2. You see how easy this is when you have a flow chart, you can simplify it down to a science like this shit. Now we move down to round 2, hooks and offers. This is where we say, okay, cool. And we test hooks and offers second because that's the most important part. Okay, we want to find our audience so that we know who we're talking to. We want to find our hooks because this is going to move the needle the most. All right. Now, what that does is now we can go through, and if we've come up with a few variations of our scary offer, that allows us to come back in here and test those. Now what we do is we keep the audiences. We've already chosen those are the best ones there. Now we take the same image, same landing page, same everything, but we test different headline, different hook, different offer. And again, now we know a new variable and so on and so forth, guys. We come down here and then we end up down here where we're optimizing ads with conversions at 2x our ILC. That's our ideal lead cost. Without conversion, with conversions, we can shut off. Without conversions, we let it go 3x and then we shut off. Very simplified version of a complicated process. Then we go into testing creatives. And again, we test everything one at a time. Okay. One at a time. Yeah. So as Jacob just said in the chat, anybody who wants this says the GSD for the course. If you want the flow chart, say flow chart as well, but make sure you do it on my profile. Okay. Click that link, go to my profile, send me the DM. You're going to get courses. You're going to get flow charts. You're going to become like demigods today. That's got to be the goal. Demigods of ads, just for showing up, just for hanging out with me for a little while and making this all good. I dig this scientific approach. He says, good, man, I love it. That's what we need to have. We need to have a scientific approach. We need to learn from the variables so that we can do the next step. And that's it. Now there's going to be some shit on this flow chart for those of you that get it that you're not going to understand. Over here, I have a legend. So when I say things like audience layering, the explanation is right here. When I say, when should you launch bottom of funnel, which means retargeting ads, I tell you right here. What are lookalikes? I tell you right here. So anything that's overly complicated, there's a legend on the side of it so that you can figure that all out. Jerry and my man, if you are still with me, does that answer your question? The specific answer to your exact question is you test the next round in the campaign after certain variables are hit. And it's all laid out right here inside of this. Perfect. He says, definitely. Thank you. You're very welcome, my man. Now, I'm going to prop this back up. I'm going to look through. I want to answer some questions, guys. Where else do we have questions? I feel like there was at least one more. All right. So in the past, I've always had super bad quality of audience through lead forms and eventually switched over to conversion campaigns and have booking a call funnel. Do you ever do that as well, or do you stick with lead form campaigns specifically? So Nicholas, what we do specifically most of the time is we will run through this VSL type funnels, direct call booking type funnels, and that kind of stuff. This today is what I call the literal bare bones shit that most of you guys who don't have any ad experience or don't know the difference can actually take this process and implement it today. So that was the purpose of today. But yes, normally what we would be doing is we'd be running it through a VSL ad campaign so that we can qualify them with the VSL further, have them book over here and do all that kind of stuff. But for 90% of the people I believe on the webinar today, the easiest process is going to be this, using lead form so that they can fill up their audience, fill up their buckets and absolutely crush it. We do teach more advanced forms of this kind of stuff, and we do a lot more than this in the other kinds of campaigns for the people that we work with. But this will work, and this will make you money and allows you to get off the ground and move the needle. Now, all that being said, there's stuff on lead forms specifically that you can do, which is switch from high volume to high intent, add more friction with more questions. You can do a number of different things like this on here to make the lead forms a better quality as well, if you want to stick with them, if quality is your biggest issue. Does that make sense? Sorry, I've lost track of that. Who was that question from? Nicholas, I believe. Nicholas Goldberg. Does that make sense for your question, my man, or do you have further thoughts on that you want me to go over? Waiting on Nicholas Goldberg. Is he still here? Give him
Aging Dr. Goldberg.
Yes, it does, he says. Perfect. All right, guys. Anybody else have some questions they want to go through? One last time, if you have not done it yet, Mr. Jacob, if you could drop the link for my profile in the chat, and everybody send me some GSD and or some flow chart and or both. Who here loves presents? That's my question. Thumbs up if you like presents, gifts, free things that can actually help you move the needle. Yes, thumbs up, ones in the chat. I love it. So that means I should be seeing a whole bunch of DMs so that we can get this shit over to people, because today I'm like ads Santa Claus. All right, I came with presents. I have more to give away too. Look at what came up just from somebody asking a good question. Maybe if you guys ask even more good questions, there's even more presents. I don't know. We'll find out soon. We have one question right here. So let's get through a couple more things and I'll get through a couple more questions, guys. So again, drop me a DM GSD or a GM flow chart and we will get to that shit for you. Now, guys, we believe in results and blah, blah, blah. And look at all these testimonials. I don't like to talk a lot about this shit. It looks good. It works. You guys can tell from this presentation that it does, right? Screenshots of good shit happening to good people. Why does good shit happen to good people, though, in this situation, guys? Someone answer that question. And I'll give you a hint. It's in the name of my program. This is where I have no issue sitting in complete silence. So I like to just wait. They get shit done. Thank you, Sasha. That is correct. 100 million%. They take what they learn and then they get shit done. Thank you. I love it. That's perfect. Exactly. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions in here, guys. Before I do, as I get to them, two things. One, click that link to my profile. Send me a DM for GSD. Two, before I hopped on this, I actually opened up a couple of spots on my calendar. John asked me to politely, as he always does. I know you guys can tell this just from me and John, the way we talk, but we're always nice people. We're never assholes in any way to anybody ever. We're very polite all the time. And so he very politely and gently asked me to open up a couple of slots for you guys to personally take you guys through some more of this shit, to have a few calls with some of you guys. So we're going to drop that link down in here as well. My man Jacob's got it in there. I highly recommend a couple of you hop on that link and book some shit so that we can go over this a little bit further. We can help you guys even more. So click that link, book the call. And while we leave that up there, I'm going to scroll up. I know we had a few more questions. And guys, do not be afraid to ask questions, anything at all right now, because that's what we want to do. We want to answer them. So Nicholas says, when you're doing the VSL funnels, do you test the same way as in the flowchart, or do you have a different process? I always use the rapid fire testing methodology for when I'm testing. This is, in my opinion, the best way to actually do it, because this is the way that you're going to be testing variable by variable. And once you're done the whole thing, normally what you'll do is you'll rotate through these variables, unless your ideal lead cost, you've gone way off track and you absolutely aren't getting where you need to go. Then you need to go back up and do the hooks again. Now, all that being said, we do have, look, see, asked another good question, potentially got everybody another good gift, because here's the optimization flowchart, right? So once you get to this part, now we're talking about actually doing more. All right, what that means is, okay, cool, it's up and running and everything's working. How do I optimize? What's the ongoing process? And this is the ongoing process. Policy violations, are things actually working? Are the ads approved? Optimize. All right. And we're going to optimize through this process. We're going to be testing through this process, and we're going to be making that shit work. Let me know if that answers your question, Nicholas. And I'm going to move on to the next one. We got Damien. Any tips on targeting homeowners? So, sorry, guys. Excuse me. Let's go through. Let me think. What's the easiest way to go through this process? You know, I want to work on this with you guys. So let's do this. Zoom. Stop sharing. Zoom. Start sharing. All right. You guys like how I have to narrate my own life sometimes to be able to find shit? Here we go. Okay. Move this over to the side. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to clear out what we did before. Clear all the drawings. Then Zoom's going to be helpful here. All right, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to go through this. Homeowners targeting. Cool. What does a homeowner interests off the top of your head, right? Homeowner interests. What would that be? Like HOAs, right? Why would anybody give any shit about an HOA if they're not a homeowner? Home improvement, right? Why would anybody give a shit about home improvement if they're not an actual homeowner? And this leads me to weird old dad things like Home Depot and in Canada, Canadian Tire. And like, I don't know, fixing shit, handyman. Why would you need a handyman if you're not a homeowner, right? I guess you could rent a home, but you guys get the point, right? So you keep going down this process. Love-hate relationship, he says. I think it's mostly hate. Does anybody, let's do an exercise here that's completely off track just because he said it. Anybody in here love their HOA? Because I'd love to hear anybody say they actually have a love relationship with their HOA, but maybe I just had the wrong experiences. All right, we got this. What else? What else, guys? Everybody participate in the chat. What am I missing here? What's an interest that only homeowners would have, right? Now the complaint here is, you know, Facebook removed this direct targeting option. They took away a lot of the real estate based shit got shit on by Facebook for a while. Now they used to be able to target movers and homeowners and all this crap, but that's not the end of the world because now we just need to think, you know? Yeah. So home insurance, appliance insurance, right? All of this shit, you know, who are more likely? Landscapers. There's a good one. Landscapers, right? Another thing you can do, lawn maintenance. Another thing you can do is married people. Anybody with a wife knows those wives, they don't like to rent shit for too long. They're going to be harping at you. So married people, because you can still target relationship statuses. Marriage, you can target people with children. Because if you got people with children, you probably need a house. You need something bigger. Oh, security systems. Here we go. See, guys? And so it's not just about for targeting those obvious ones. It's about being able to go through and find this all out. Security systems. I like that one as well. Right? Now, who asked that question? It was Dan. No, it was Damien. Does that answer your question, Damien? Does that give you a good place to start? Does that make a lot of sense to you? Damien. There we go. Perfect, brother. Thanks. No problem whatsoever, my man. Now, let's go back to this. Go back to this. Now, Jacob, drop the link to the call one more time and let me know if people have actually clicked it and it works, or if I got to start yelling at some people, and I'll keep answering some questions. Let's go, people. I love these questions. Would I follow the same system for a high-priced offer? Mr. Sasha, a lot of us here, I would say a dozen or so of our clients are high-ticket coaching clients, meaning anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 offers, and we use this to fill up their lists, warm them up, and crush it. So the answer is 100%. This works quite well for high-serviced, high-priced, high-ticket offers, so that shit can work. Does that make sense, Sasha? More questions. Massive decline in lookalike performance since iOS 14, since we have way less data now. How's your experience been since the changes? We've relied more on interest-based audiences, but our lookalike audiences haven't dipped that much. We've simply layered in. And so what I mean by layering, and this is always good to have this shit rocking when you guys ask good questions. What I mean by layering, audience layering, involves selecting interests and demographics to target, then adding must-match interests and demographics on top. Call it 3D targeting, right? Who they are and what they do. So in this situation, you can take the lookalike audience and then you add in must-match interests. All right, so that you can get away from that shit. Instead of just relying on the lookalike in general, you start to zone that down with interest to make it a little bit better. If you do that properly with Facebook API conversion events that go server side to server side, you can keep it optimizing. Make sense, Nicholas? Drop me a yes if that makes sense. We got a question from, look at all
that
these
makes
questions.
sense, man. Thank you.
Awesome, dude. We got Christina. Christina says, what about med spas? Med spas or aesthetic practices? Are you asking if the ads would work for them? If these types of campaigns would work for them? If you are, then 100%, right? So say it's targeting ideas. Oh, okay. Well, let's group source this again. Med spa. So you want to target what, the owners of a med spa? What's the issues with targeting them right now? Are you unable to target the? So I mean, I would start with obviously job titles. Then I would do 3D targeting, which again, what we just talked about is interested in med spas, layered with small business owner, right? And so stuff like this can be super powerful using the 3D targeting, right? You could do, again, 3D targeting, you could do interested in med spa type stuff, but then layered with, say, Facebook payment users, meaning they've run ads for their own med spas before. Or again, job title plus layered with small business owner. That's BO. Right. So just off the top of my head, those types of things can work well for that. Then if you go and you do the targeting hacking that we talked about before, which is actually going into your news feed and spying on your competitors' ads, it can make a huge difference. Make sense? Give me.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm
what?
muted.
There we go. Oh, even Christina's hiding from us, John. What's up with that?
I was eating.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Most of the people in the med spa and aesthetics industry haven't run ads though.
Mhm.
So that's why I've had a little bit of trouble targeting them in the past. Like I've only ever done job titles.
Yeah, so if you take this one out, just think of what you could layer them with that would make them a small business owner, right? So like layer in med spa interest with small business owner, layer in the job title with small business owner. Find out once you get into here, right? You can then look at the suggestions and find the suggestions that have the biggest thing. There's all kinds of different things you can do on that, and then use the newsfeed spying that I showed you earlier to see what you can do. And if you're not getting any in your newsfeed, just start clicking the like button on a bunch of the pages, and you'll start getting all kinds of them in your newsfeed, and you'll be set to go.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Edmund says the majority of people I hop on a call with don't take the offer to work with me because it requires ads to get them more clients, which they don't want. What should I do in order to reduce the dropout rate? Don't take the offer because it requires ads to get them more clients. I'm not sure what your offer is or why it requires ads to get them more clients, but to me, that seems like an offer problem. Like if they think that your offer requires a whole other thing in order to make it work and they're not going to have that thing, then we need to reposition yourself to not have that. So that sounds more like a messaging positioning kind of problem disconnect between what they're thinking they're going to be on the call for and what you can actually deliver for them. And so that sounds to me like it needs to be kind of fixed on that side. Does that make sense, Nicholas? Or wait, not Nicholas, Edmund? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot. I always like to do this one last little thing, dude. I want to know, first of all, you keep dropping questions. I'm here all day. If you guys have more questions, I got more answers. John, like, fuck no, man. We got to hop off this eventually. But I'm like, let's stay here all day and let's talk. Jacob, my man, how are we doing on the DMs and the links? Anybody else in here having problems? Anybody click the link, try and book a call, click my profile, try to send me a message that it didn't work? Give me thumbs down if it didn't work. Give me thumbs up if it did work. And stay completely silent if you did nothing and didn't take any action with me at all. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Good. All right. Now, what I want to know here is, how was everybody's day today? Everybody get some shit that they can get out there and get shit done with. Everybody feeling a little better. It only went an hour and 40 minutes. That's less than I thought. An hour and 40 minutes into the day of training. Biggest takeaways, guys. Somebody drop me their biggest takeaways in the chat. So that I know you're going to take this and go get shit done, because at the end of the day, that's what I actually want, is for you guys to get out there and get shit done. Takeaways. The scary offer, 100% and 100%. Oh, also, who has made their scary offer? Who took what I did and made a couple of this shit? You're the man, Cody. Thank you, Nicholas. You're the man because you actually got selfish today. My favorite thing is when people come here and learn from me and get selfish, because you guys are the ones that are going to get out there and actually rock shit and get shit done. So love that. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I overcomplicated it 100%. Simplify that shit. Simplify your message, simplify your offer, and get up there and make it work, because that's what's going to make you some money. Now, as these start to trickle in, I want everybody to come off mute. That's what I want. Come off mute. We like to do a little energy in the GSD. We come off mute. We cheer a little. We round of applause. We congratulate one another. Whatever you need to get through the rest of your day. I do a Ric Flair woo for any like old ass wrestling fans in here. So, that's how I like to do it. So who wants to give it? Let's go, guys. Good job, everybody. Woo!
All right.
Guys, seriously, even though a lot of this is actually quite relatively simple, even though a lot of them overcomplicating everything, and that's what I really like about working with Cody, is that is simple, man. And if you guys like simple is the only thing that scales. You guys got to have a chat with Cody and at least do something. I mean, how many of you guys would like a money machine that where you put $1 in and you get at least 5 out? How many of you guys would like that money machine? Well, yeah. Cody's that guy who runs my money machine. It just so happens when I put $1 in, I get 10 out. Now, a lot of that has to do with offer. It's, although Cody's very handsome, it's not all him. I just show up and try not to be too dumb is really my role in this whole thing. So ultimately, guys, if you guys just need to understand the importance of a money machine in your life. It can't just be, grinding organic all day. The thing that will make your organic work is paid advertising if you do it correctly. The thing that will make your paid advertising work is good organic. So they go hand in hand, and everybody thinks like, oh, do you do paid ads or organic? You do fucking both. Do both. And one of the guys that honestly, one of the only people that I know that actually understands and teaches that is Cody, and he's very, very good at it. So have a chat with him, book a call with him. You're going to, he's the money machine guy. Why would you not want to talk to the money machine guy? I did, and that's how I run my money machine. So anywho, that's all I have to say. You guys are silly if you don't take Cody up on what he's offering you. Just straight up. And I'm not getting anything out of this. There's so many people that are bullshit media buyers today that's why I ran my own ads until I met Cody. And I don't like running my own ads. So Cody does. So book a call with Cody, go through his shit. The guy's fantastic. Cody, thanks so much for taking some time and adding some value. Everybody, just one more round of snaps for Cody. You're awesome, brother. I appreciate you. Anybody have any last questions before, I don't know, Cody, do you have last words?
We got last questions, guys. Like another 2 minutes here. A couple people I want to call out right now. Nicholas Goldberg, my man, you asked all those questions. I think you got more. I don't know if you booked a call, but I think you should take one of those slots. Sasha, same thing, because my man, you've been on it. Anna, you've been on it. Dorsha, you've been on it. Edmund, you've been on it. Get those calls booked so we can get this shit rocking even further. 100%. And my man's going to drop that link one more time, aren't you, Jacob? Just one more time down in that shit so we can get that rocking. Any last minute questions while these 3 or 4 or 5 people I just called out go and book their money machine? I got to call. That's my new name, by the way. The money machine. We're going to stick that on to make my scary offer about that. Book that call. Let's get shit done. While you guys do that, my last words today are, look, the reason I call my program the Get Shit Done program is actually because of the culture. It's always good to have a million tools. And I know John's been preaching this to you guys forever. It's not always about the tools you have or the systems you're surrounded with. It's about the ability to take action, to clear your freaking mind and actually take that imperfect action and get shit done and use the shit around you. That's what I want to impart here more than anything today is simplify shit and just start taking small steps towards your greater journey, because that's what we're all about here. And I know that's what he's all about on the other side of this as well. So I appreciate all of you guys. I'm not seeing any last minute questions. This was great. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you. Sasha already booked. Thanks. Love it. You guys are amazing. Honestly, I appreciate this. This was great. You showed up, you took action today, and I love it.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Awesome, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end. And thank you guys, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.